Hello and welcome to A Book in 2 Minutes. My name is Lindsay Milner and I'm a training and development consultant working mainly with non-profit organisations to help them to create awesome workplaces. And while I've been engaged in that work, I have read a great deal of books. I've read books on business development, personal development, books on thinking, books on effective management. And I thought it might be quite interesting to share some of the insights that I've gained from those books with you. So today's book is something a little different. It doesn't quite fit into any of those categories. It kind of spans across a couple of them. And it is called Resilience, Why Things Bounce Back. And it's written by Zolli and Anne-Marie Healy. So the reason that somebody says I've got no sound. I'm going to guess that's because he's got no sound and that it's okay from where I am. Fingers crossed. It's him. Never mind. Resilience, Why Things Bounce Back. And I chose this book because I was prompted by somebody's post on Facebook yesterday about books that they're interested in, and also said that they were interested in resilience. And I was like, oh, I've got a book called Resilience. However, it's quite a challenging book. So in a little way, I'm a bit regretting that I chose it. It's kind of like a systems theory. The writers look at ecological systems and which of those are resilient and why they're resilient. It also looks at governmental systems, business, financial systems, and examines these things that have hit problems and what is it about them that makes them able to bounce back. And I have to confess that rereading the introduction, the book was a little bit depressing because we're facing obviously some real challenges in terms of sustainability, the environment, business systems, and the economic systems that we've got. And it kind of made me feel like, oh, we're doomed. This is never going to. How are we going to ever be able to deal with all of these problems? One of the things that I do recall, and the other issue is that the book is actually quite complex. It talks about quite a lot of very complex systems theories. So I was kind of regretting that I'd got to get to grips with it in less than a day. However, hopefully I've got enough of it to be able to make it worthwhile sharing with you. One of the things that I do recall from the first reading of this book is how organisations and ecological systems go through 4 distinct phases. Now, can I remember them? The first phase is growth. So we have something that starts up and develops quite quickly. Then you have a maturity phase where everything seems to be running hunky-dory and it's not called maturity, it's called conservation, where they're sort of continuing to conserve what they've got and make the best of it. So if you think of that in business terms, it's a business that's, it's doing well, it's performing well, so it just carries on doing what it's doing. But then something happens, so the financial crash or a new technological innovation comes out and destroys its current product. Some disruption comes along, and following that you then have a release phase where you have to let things go. So that happens in ecology, it happens in businesses. And the reason this kind of stayed with me was because at the time when I read this, I was actually trustee for a small charity, and we'd had the 85% of our funding cut and had to make people redundant. So, that kind of fit with me. But then it goes ahead into a reorganisation phase. And although this took some time, we did actually manage to survive enough of that charity. It was taken over and merged with another charity. But the functions and it does kind of exist as a slightly separate charity, just run by another bigger charity, are still running. So the kind of reorganisation bit stuck with me as well. The other thing he talks about, there's lots of, sorry, I'm going way over time. As I said, this is really a complex book. There's a lovely case study at the end about some Pacific islands and the way that developed and how translational leadership helped that organisation to bounce back. And it talks about how the leader creates a network of hubs and gets all those people connected to each other and talking to each other and working together. It's actually a really inspiring case study, and I kind of want to move there. It sounds like an amazing place to live, Pacific Islands. Who wouldn't love that? So who is this book for? I think it's more of an educational, sort of almost academic study. So I think if you're interested in resilience and how to develop your own resilience, maybe not so much in there, but if you're interested in systems theory and why things are resilient, what makes them resilient, then it is a very, very interesting read. So that's today's book, Resilience, Why Things Bounce Back. If anybody's read it, leave a comment, be interested to know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, 4 p.m, Facebook Live, for a book in more than 2 minutes. Bye.